16 unexpected favorite foods of famous people in history. 1. Charles Darwin's favorite meat was armadillo.
It tasted like duck, but way better.
In his college times, he belonged to the Glutton Club. The club members got together to eat the most exotic animals. Darwin got to taste nearly every animal he studied. He even tried alligator. 2. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart loved capon meat. A capon is a rooster that has been castrated at a young age. This makes the rooster meat more tender. Mozart loved sturgeon fish, pork, or a beer and beef stew for dinner. Next day, he'd eat the meat leftovers first thing in the morning. He would have sauerkraut on the side. 3. Ludwig van Beethoven would humbly eat soup. His favorite was a bread soup with rice.
Anyone who tells a lie has not a pure heart and cannot make a good soup.
He insisted on precisely 60 coffee beans for his morning pick-me-up. 4. Albert Einstein ate mushrooms with every meal. He had fried eggs with mushrooms for breakfast. He loved mushrooms so much he could eat them 3 times a day. Einstein consumed tons of honey with his tea. He had to buy his honey by the bucket. 5. Henry VIII was fond of jam. He would dip his roasted game, like venison and swan, in fruit preserves. 6. Frank Sinatra's food of choice was stuffed artichokes. His favorite Italian restaurant altered the recipe for him. Sinatra had an aversion to strong garlic flavor. 7. Andy Warhol loved cakes.
All I ever really want is sugar.
His idea of cake was a chocolate bar between 2 slices of bread. 8. Alfred Hitchcock loved quiche Lorraine. He wouldn't have eggs for breakfast unless they were baked in a ham quiche. 9. Ernest Hemingway loved papa alla huancaína. It's a Peruvian dish of boiled potatoes in a creamy cheese sauce. He described his characters' meals in great detail. The quotes from his novels comprise the Hemingway cookbook. Hemingway loved to eat in the company of his cats. 10. Mary Shelley loved her greens. Kale has been a superfood since the 1800s, but Shelley enjoyed sponge cakes and jelly desserts as well. 11. Jane Austen's comfort food was cheese toast. When there was no cheese, she went for pound cake. 12. Virginia Woolf adored bœuf en daube. It's a classic French beef stew with onions, bay leaves, and wine. Woolf wrote,
"One cannot think well, love well, sleep well, if one has not dined well."
13. Mark Twain would have oysters in any form. He made a list of his favorite 60 American comfort foods. Many of them were oyster dishes. 14. Steve Jobs ate apples a lot. He would often go on vegan fasts and try extreme diets. During his fruitarian period, he'd only eat apples and carrots. It helped him clear his mind. This must be how he came up with the name of his brand. 15. Marlon Brando gulped a jar of peanut butter for breakfast. He had to go on a diet sometimes for his roles. At those times, his girlfriend put chains and padlocks on the fridge. Brando would pry the locks open with a crowbar for a bite of cheese. On set, his friends tossed his burgers over the security fence. 16. Hunter S. Thompson had a breakfast ritual. He described it himself.
4 Bloody Marys, 2 grapefruits, a pot of coffee, a half pound of bacon, a Spanish omelet, and a slice of a lime pie.